25th, they've just announced Indie Creator, isn't it, for Xbox?
Developer Direct, yeah.
Developer Direct, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was something I was going to add in there. Little hopes for Developer Direct.
Yeah, so I saw that. Actually, it was quite funny. It popped up as a sponsor, like when you're watching a video on Facebook, and it popped up as the advert. So never seen that before. Trying to
really?
pay for engagement. I don't know.
Maybe.
Also, what biscuits have you got on the side there?
Where are they?
On your book.
These are just like those nice biscuits.
Ooh, they're the best. That's one of the bit. I like their malted milk as well. They're good.
Yeah, so they obviously the pack. You get the 4 in the pack with the bourbons and that.
Creams. Yeah,
I should. I've been trying to cut down on
that's
biscuits.
me with a full fat Coke.
I really tried, but I just seem to be busy all the time, and then it's just the easy thing for me.
Yeah,
I haven't even had dinner yet.
Oh, if you're not, I've had mine.
So, I want to pull up the actual what's going to be at this Developer Direct thing, because I'm not convinced I'm going to enjoy it at all.
It's one of them. It's going to tune in. What's the date? Say 20. It's on Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it.
Well, anyway, how we doing, mate?
Good, yeah. How about you?
Did we get the discussion in about you returning? How you feel about returning? Streaming.
Good. Like I say, it's just finding a bit of time at the moment. So Sundays are the time.
Pokemon Day.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, welcome everyone to episode. Not a full episode. This is a 0.5. We did have a discussion about doing some more content.
For 2/3.
Yeah, 2/3. We could even call it 2/3. And then when one of us isn't available, not just Cal. Cal's very busy building his. He's doing really well, so catch him on there. He's slowified. If you haven't known, he is now. He's jacked in Blue Rup.
Yeah.
And he is doing a non-league, not non-league. Is it non-league?
Yeah.
It is non-league, sorry, non-league.
He is taking the slough plough up the
taking
leagues.
The slough, yes, that's it, slough plough up the leagues, which I reckon will be really good fun. So if you want to catch him, go catch him. And obviously, or yourself, Ridges, on on Pokemon on Sundays. And actually, if you're watching... 16-bit Rivals haven't yet done their first stream.
We haven't,
but you can catch our channel, 16-bit Rivals, if you just want to go follow it and await the first stream. It'll be fantastic.
I do. I'm going to put in because I'm backing myself with the games now. I've thought about what we could have as our first stream.
Okay.
I have pre-ordered Forspoken.
Oh, well, that is a topic today. That's a topic today because this week your second game releases Forspoken, and my first game into it. So if you guys girls don't know, a few episodes back now we did a fantasy draft on Fantasy Critic. And we each drafted our games for the year, and we had a few bids. Ridgers, he picked Fire Emblem, which was this week.
Yep.
And that has netted him around. I think it's gone down since I posted it on Twitter to something like 12 point something. But it's sitting around the 82 to 83 mark, which has netted him 12 to 13 points. And I don't know when they sort of break off. I think they might give a week. This is good. I actually thought it was going to do better, but we can go into my thoughts about the game shortly. But
I'll take it. I was hoping for a 10. So.
This week we've got Forspoken versus Dead Space because both games are releasing in the same week.
Okay.
Forspoken is one of your choice.
Yep.
And Red Dead Space Remake is one of mine. And if you're wondering where Cal is in this, he has picked the same amount of games as both of us. But his release a little bit later in the year. That doesn't leave him at a disadvantage. It just means when we look at the table in weeks to come, it's going to seem like Callum is trailing very far behind. But that's because his games have yet to enter the fray.
I'll have 3 games by mid-February, won't I?
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes
Legacy.
Ridges, flawed Ridges, flawed. Then I think Callum finally enters with. I think Callum's first game is Star Wars. So
that's March, isn't it? Or is it
May? It might even be. I'm not even sure. But so there's been a bit of discourse around Forspoken. I don't know if you've seen. Not just the demo. They updated the demo.
I still haven't played it. I've got it
still
blind. I'm going in blind.
You're going in blind. Well,
I'm
more full.
I'm giving it a go. I thought, you know what?
Do we think?
Sorry.
Do we think it has the capacity to surprise and be good?
Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Okay, you think you're going to enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, if a 7 out of 10 would be enjoyable. Anything higher would be great. I think it's going to.
If we think so, you think it's going to hit you? You think you're going to get points on this one?
I think I'm going to enjoy it. I don't think it's going to be totally rubbish. I think it'll be one of them games. I think people will maybe buy it later on. I think it'll be a waiting one. But I like story-driven games, and I know it's been slated a little bit, but there's no online to it, is there? So,
listen, I mean, they're not giving review codes out, which is a bad sign. The PC specs, I don't know if you've seen. So, first of all, what you bought it on?
PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5. Okay, so that might be at least saving grace. The PC specs are ridiculous.
Are they?
They're like the recommended, I think, is something like a 4070 Ti or something stupid. Essentially, what they're saying with their recommended PC specs is, we have not optimized this game. You are going to need to have spent thousands of pounds on your PC, even play our game at a recommended level, because
I know that they I think have they pulled it from Steam Deck. I think it's not compatible now.
That doesn't surprise. That's another bad sign. There's so many red flags with this game that if it comes out and it's good, it's going to be a shock.
Hogwarts Legacy as well. They've been pulling pre-orders on that, haven't they?
I don't think Hogwarts Legacy is marred in as much.
No. But
red flags
pulling pre-orders. So.
Yeah, that might be for something entirely different. But I'm willing to go to bite my tongue and see if this does surprise, and it might do. But I feel like Dead Space has had its previews, and everyone
knows what Dead Space is like. This been
before. They do. This is it, and they say so. I can see it getting high scores. So what I want to do before we wrap up Dead Space versus Forspoken is just give our open critic, not Metacritic, because that's the one that our Fantasy Critic scores are based on. Our open critic predictions. I mean, Metacritic and OpenCritic, they're very similar. They go for the same thing. So
I'm probably going to go 7 out of 10 for Forspoken, probably 8 out of 10 for Dead Space.
So obviously they go out of 100 score. So what do you think?
74 for Forspoken, 81 for Dead Space.
Okay, 74 and 81. So that would be 74 would be good. Do you know what I think? If Forspoken gets 74, I think you've done well out of that. I think you have done well. I think Callum's games are going to surprise. I was looking the other day. I feel like he's dark horse. I think his games, the ones he's picked, are going to be like sleeper hits. But I would say I'm going to go 70 bang on for Forspoken. And I'm going to say Dead Space is going to be an 87.
87?
Yeah, 87. And I think because people are going to just say, okay, it's not giving us much new, but what's there is quality and the game holds up. And think I think it's going to do well. And those are both out this week, and they're both going to hit our score. Obviously, stay up to date with Twitter, and you'll see more than likely me posting a couple of updates on the current scores. Obviously, it carries on going as the reviews come in. They can go up or down, but once you've hit about 30 plus reviews, generally you've got a couple of points here and there,
Yeah.
a couple of decimal points. Like I think you were at one stage 12.2, then you went to like 13.1 or something, and then back to like 12.7. So you always around that sort of thing. And that was for Fire Emblem Engage, which I will just quickly give my initial impressions on because I've played, would say roughly 5 hours maybe, which
Okay.
is a lot considering it come out Friday. I got the special edition actually. 1 second. Oh, crap.
Yes, Jan did say to me earlier. So have you seen it? So I've seen a picture. I haven't
You've
really.
seen a picture,
Hmm.
but I really do like this, and it's oh, I just sat on the keyboard. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm not going to get it all
Oh
out.
wow, it's
But
massive.
it's big, and it's got an art book. It's got some cards. It's got not only has it got the box with the actual cartridge and not a stupid downloadable code like some people do.
Yeah.
It's got a steel book as well, and it's just
Nice.
really nicely presented, and
No, it looks good.
got nice little graphics and the 16-bit characters versions that come on the loading screens here. And yeah, I should have maybe just done a little unboxing video for that. But maybe we'll have some of that sort of content
So
on the
the
channel
question
in the
the
future.
question is, does it hold up to the Metacritic score for you?
I believe, for me personally, I actually would rate it higher
Oh, okay.
from initial impressions.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't give an accurate score on the game through for 5 hours because it's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
But it looks fantastic on the OLED for start. The sound is great. I love the music and I love the sound quality when I put my headphones in to play. It's really bright. I like the characters. It's more straightforward than the last one, Three Houses.
Yep.
I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy the story as much. I would say that, but the combat, the strategy, uh, and the actual gameplay, the core gameplay, really, really strong and really addictive. I started, I thought, I'm not sure, and then
What's
it
the
quickly grabbed me.
what's the sort of playtime for the game? Because I know in Three Houses you had three different stories to play, didn't you?
Yeah,
So you had that replay sort of value of it.
yeah. Three Houses, I put probably over 150 hours, and I completed all three storylines. So in Three Houses, you pick,
Yeah.
not unsurprisingly, between three houses, and they all had separate stories, and they sort of branched in, and it was really cleverly done. It's one of my favorite games of this generation. So this game's got a lot to live up to, and this is going to be a recurring theme I feel in this year when we go to games like obviously Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has got a lot to live up to beat my favorite game of all time, and this is Fire Emblem Engage has got a lot to live up to beat um, Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Yeah.
Octopath 2 as well, following another favorite of mine, obviously Octopath Traveler 1, which is coming out. I don't know whether I'll have finished Fire Emblem Engage by the time Octopath 2 releases mid-February, I would like to say. But hopefully I'm at least a good chunk of the way because I'm definitely going to get that game, and I'm really, really excited to play that. And it's one of my draft games. So I only hope that it does really well in the reviews. I hope that I agree with those really high score reviews that I hope it gets. But I have an inkling it's probably not going to get as high as the first game. In fact, I would bet money on it. And again, it's just sequel itis, so to speak. So,
No,
so you've got Forspoken coming this week.
yeah, I've just rechecked. It's out on Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, out before Dead Space, I believe.
24th.
Dead Space.
Yeah, I didn't realise. So
Yeah. Dead Space is out towards I think Friday.
yeah,
Dead Space might be
I
out.
thought it was Friday, but it's out Tuesday. Forspoken. So
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll get around to it.
This is going to be a predominantly off-stream game for you, I assume. Or
yeah, at the moment it's just solely Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll just play what I can. I've got no sort of rush then, have I? Or, and I can enjoy it. Like playing God of War is just great off stream.
Yeah.
You know, play as much as you want and get involved in it. But
sorry about that. I think my phone just went off. Probably.
But no, yeah, very much. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Like I said, I've got that. There's a few things I want to play at the moment. So to give in Forspoken a go. I went to boot up the demo, and I went.
You've already ordered it.
Well, no, I only ordered it last week. I went to boot up the demo, and I went. Do you know what? No, because I'm gonna go with it. My feeling is, get it, play it. If I don't like it, I trade it in. It's physical.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose there's that. I feel like, well, fair play. You're putting your money where your mouth is. You drafted it,
That's
and you
what I
picked
thought.
it,
Yeah,
and you're backing it. So fair play. I have to say, like I said when we had every time I saw it, I was less and less interested. Then I played it, and now I'm not interested. I'm happy to be surprised. I'm happy for it to sit in the, and get reduced and then reduced again and reduced again and updated and cleaned up and polished until it's okay to play. And then I'll jump in then if I really, really want to. But once a game gets that way, look, I can't say that I'm going to be.
Well, we should start having scores coming out, shouldn't we? Tomorrow, really.
But I mean, nobody's getting review copies, so I don't know if we will. I don't feel like you're going to see your score reflected
until like Friday or something.
Yeah, at least to the end of the week, because I feel like you're going to get a couple of reviews of people smashing the game out the first day. But yeah, again, the controversy surrounding this game is, I mean, it's bad. It's bad, and this is a lot of the talking topics tonight are all sort of linked and interweaved, because the other thing I wanted to talk about was the sort of expectations versus sort of reality of these game devs. And I almost feel like we're at a point of diminishing returns. We're seeing really unrealistic expectations, sales targets for games, and companies in trouble. I mean, this is why the likes of Bethesda are getting bought up, and you keep hearing Ubisoft are now in trouble after, again, what their expectations are and what is reality is different. Rabbids sold really well. It's been in the charts for a couple months now, in the top 15, and it's done really well. It's been at the top of the eShop.
And it's a good game.
Yeah, and it's a good game. They haven't said what it sold. They just said it's underperformed. But I suspect that's more to do with their high expectations for it, rather than a realistic target on the thing. And it's not so bad where they haven't invested in a certain amount of money in it. But a company like Ubisoft does have money, but a few bad misses, and the amount of money they're invested in games like Skull and Bones, which has been delayed again. Sorry, mate. It's just it's, if it doesn't come out and doesn't hit, a few of these are gonna inevitably turn the tide away from these companies who are spending so much money on developing these games. There's so much of a long life, not a long life, but a long development cycle, that by the time they release, it's just
I know, and that's probably maybe what they were banking on with obviously the cost of
Mm,
making Skull and
mm,
Bones and whatnot. That they were banking on a low cost game such as Rabbids selling
yeah,
more to maximize profits, so that
yeah. But they
they're not
didn't have a
losing.
big game, did they? To
No,
like,
but then like you say, think about how much. I mean, don't know. Say a game takes a year to make, and there's 10
I
people
mean,
on
if
it.
it's
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I
say
mean
there's 10
that's
people on it. You've got 10 people's wages for a
yeah,
year. You've got all the equipment, everything else, and then the games are I mean, what was it, 54.99 roughly, 70 quid for the extra bits and bobs. Um, but then like shop, I picked it up for 37.99, I think it was. On day one as well. So there's that they're losing straight away. There and the other way is if games
I
go up
mean
in
yeah,
price, but then
and
people aren't going to buy them.
I think I think obviously you gave a sort of bare bones. Like these games obviously have more than 10 people, and they usually take a lot longer than
Yeah,
a
exactly.
year to make. But look, a little indie dev will put out a game on, and it will take years to develop, and they'll have a very small team, and they live and die by the sales. I feel like we're seeing that now with AAA games,
And I
where
think
they're doing the same thing but at a higher level.
yeah.
And I mean, they're not. Callisto Protocol is another one
Mm-hmm.
I want to discuss. They had sales targets of 5 million. Now, did you? If I was to ask you before it come out, what do you think it would sell? What would you have said?
I mean, I thought it would have done pretty well. Probably would have hit 5 million, maybe. I don't know, because it's like the Dead Space game, isn't it? It looked good. The graphics were good. It had that sort of. There's not been a new horror type game for a while,
Yeah,
especially on the PlayStation 5 or especially on PlayStation 5. So if you had a PS5, it'd be sort of a no brainer. Um, yeah, I mean maybe 4 million. I don't know. But like it's already discounted. It was already
yeah,
discounted.
yeah. It's already discounted, but this is my point, and I would have said if this game sold 3 million, it would have been a success. This is before they said their success. I would have said this game's gonna go into sale between 1 and 2 million
Mm.
copies, and
But
that's going to
then,
be good.
sorry, going back
Some
to Rabbids,
hmm.
that's over what? That's over three consoles. So that's PC,
No, Rabbit
Xbox.
is.
No, I'm talking about Callisto. Yeah, so they're looking for
Oh right,
like
yeah.
5 million over three
Hmm.
consoles. Not too bad. Rabbids is exclusive, isn't it? So you've only got the
Yeah, I know.
market
Obviously, it's
of
a
Nintendo.
larger
Yeah,
market, but okay, yeah. But I would have still said 2 million would have been a stretch for this game. I just don't. I feel like Dead Space will struggle to get 5 million, and that's Dead Space, which everyone knows and loves. And I feel like it'll be received better. I feel like they invested so much money into Callisto, and they really just thought 5 million. I reckon they thought 5 million was like being conservative, and I really feel like they were just out of touch with what they invested
yeah,
that amount of money because they expected minimum 5 million, and the 1 to 2 million that they got, obviously, it's going to continue selling at discounted price, but it's going to be discounted and it's not going to sell at high volumes. There it is. There it is. Still in its wrap pricey.
yeah. I haven't got
Yeah.
around to playing it yet.
So, but this is it. This is my point, which will go into another topic again about unrealistic expectations and everything. But game development takes longer. It costs more money.
Mm.
And if they go in and they don't hit their target, see their targets, like let's put it this way, right? Nintendo games don't cost as much to develop because simply they're on hardware. They don't have the graphical prowess to they don't spend all this money on mocap and all that
But they're
nonsense.
still
Yeah.
pricey because of
Well,
what they put on.
they're pricey because they're Nintendo games. But
Well,
my
no,
point is,
the hardware that they put on the disc, well, the cartridges,
well, other cards. Yeah, you're right.
they're
You're right. The
expensive.
cartridges cost more so there is that added cost. But in terms of sales targets, Nintendo will quite happily have Fire Emblem hit
Yeah,
2 to 3 million.
yeah,
If Fire Emblem Engage hits 3 million, success. And it would have Metroid did 3 million, success. Xenoblade, arguably probably one that costs more to develop, only hits between sort of 1.5 to 3 million. Again, they're quite happy with that, but they know where it's going to sit. They know how much to do it. But look, if Mario Odyssey had a sequel and it sold 2 million copies, then you would be like, okay, that's very underperformed. But
how many
what
Switches
you
are
need
sold now at the moment? You'll know.
Switches.
Yeah,
The last sort of thing, I think it was it's now the third best-selling console, and we're going to get onto this next topic.
yeah.
And I feel like actually everything might flow a little nicely
I was just thinking,
because
like, if you know how much they've sold, then you can kind of like
they've
take an
sold
average.
118 to 119 million copies as of the last count.
Wow. Okay, so yeah,
It has made them the third most successful gaming platform, behind now the DS and the PlayStation 2.
yeah. So I mean, you're looking at less than 10% as a success there, aren't you? 10% of the Switches in the world.
Yeah, I mean it depends on the game. Obviously, that was my point.
Yeah, but
Obviously,
like,
if Fire Emblem Engage did 3 million,
it
it's a
doesn't sound a
success.
lot, but it's still less than
No,
10. It doesn't sound like a
no,
lot, does it?
no. But if Mario Odyssey had a sequel, if it's a Mario Kart come out, which has done 50 million or whatever, and Mario Kart 9 or 10 or whatever you want to call it comes out and it sold 2 million, then you would say, what a colossal failure that was. But it's this expectation versus reality is the heart of my argument.
My other point I wanted to make, Chris, is there may be games that sell them well because people can't afford it at the moment.
I don't think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it. I mean, what do you think? In your opinion?
I mean, maybe not beforehand, but I think in this last last couple of months and leading forward, I think a lot of people are going to be, waiting for it to go down in price, and
but that's what I'm saying. So in your opinion, take Callisto Protocol for an example, Mario Rabbids.
Yeah, people are picking and choosing games, aren't they? People are picking and choosing games. So,
do you think it's the high price? Do you think it's the how well received the game is? Like, for example, Callisto Protocol was a bit 50-50. Some people loved it, some people hated it. What do you think is contributing to this lack of sales? Do you think it's unrealistic expectations, or do you feel like
I would probably say it's a bit of all of it, really. Probably more. I would probably say it's. I don't know. I reckon sort of 50% expectations, and then 25% price, and sort of probably 25%. The not being able to afford it, sort of thing. I think the expectations does outweigh the rest of it.
And I feel like a lot of people are more wiser as well, and they're happy to wait. And I'm one of them. Kingdom Battle, I really enjoyed, and I was looking forward to Sparks of Hope. But Kingdom Battle got to a stage where they were selling it for less than £10.
£10, yeah. I think I picked up originally for I think it was $11.99 with the DLC.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it, and it was just one of them games where when I saw it full price, I was like, it's not really something I'm going to spend my money on. And then when it was that price, it's like, wow. I had really good time with it. It was enjoyable. Pick up and play. You could just do a level at a time. If you only had a couple of minutes, it was just something to.
But this is it.
Yeah.
So I think this leads nicely into sort of the next topic. Nintendo have. Okay. I say Nintendo. I was going to say Nintendo have said they haven't said anything. This is the rumor. They are going to ramp up production of the Nintendo Switch this year, and they want to apparently sell in the next financial year 21 million Switches. To put that into perspective, that will be the 7th year on sale of a console, and they're going to ramp up production. So what I want to discuss is if this is the case, because again, big rumor. This is not official until Nintendo say in a financial meeting, which won't be for a couple months yet. We just got to pretend this is. If this is happening, this is what they're going to do. I want to discuss why they think they can sell that many. B, whether we think it's realistic. And
off the bat, no.
is there a C? No. So they say no.
They've sold enough already. What's going to bring it? There's what hard. If you look at the list of games coming to Switch, there's not very much. There's rumors of it being, they're not making any more games. There's rumors of sort of Zelda being the last game.
Yeah, there is. So I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, right. So let me just list a few of the reasons why you would necessarily say you've got to have a reason. Like, they're not going to go into a financial meeting and say, "Guess what, guys? We're ramping up production to 21 million." Because the question will be from their investors, why do you think you're going to sell more Switches this year than you did last year? What's going to be the competitive software? And I feel like everybody's overselling Zelda. Don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild was huge, but I feel like Switches have sold so many that the majority of people that are buying the new Zelda already have a Switch.
Yep.
So yeah, OLED and a special edition OLED might get some people on board, but it's not going to have the same.
Yeah, you might get. You'd be lucky to get 1 million, I reckon, if the limited edition OLED sold. Maybe a bit more.
Well, yeah, it depends how many volumes of it they're doing, but the reasons they could do it, they've got compelling software to come out that they think are going to sell it. So you obviously got Zelda, which is compelling software, but we don't really have. I know we have Pikmin. We've got obviously Metroid somewhere down the line. There's rumors of a Mario game. So compelling software is one. Two is a revision. They might have a revision again. That people are saying basically got rid of that idea and saying it was scrapped. I mean, we can go over. I think we've gone over it, but essentially they're saying that's scrapped. They're just going to work on a successor. Three, we've got the Mario movie. So anytime mainstream something or other shines a light on something, there could be a resurgence in people going, "Oh, do you know what? Mario Odyssey. I want to play Mario Odyssey or Mario 2D or whatever. I've just watched the movie. Great. I'm going to go buy myself a Switch." That is very possible. Witcher did it. Cyberpunk did it. Last of Us has done it. Anytime a good product comes out, mind you, not just any old crap. Anytime a good product comes out, it does give that resurgence. So that's another possibility.
But then with the figures they've already sold, again, the majority of people are probably really going to have one.
Yeah, and this is it. So, do you think? Let's go with the software. Do you think we're going to have anything big other than Zelda this year? So you don't think there's going to be a new Mario game potentially, or a Mario Kart?
Not a Mario Kart. The fact that they're still releasing DLC going into the end of this year. There's no need for them to do it.
And I agree with that. However, I can see a Mario 2D game.
I could possibly see something along the lines of following the movie, maybe.
Yeah,
like a Mario movie game. I don't think it'll be a Mario game. It'll be like a Mario movie game.
I could see it sort of tied in with the movie, not necessarily have anything to do with the movie, but tied in with the movie release. Definitely could see that. Do you think also that there could be a revision?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, I think they will go on to the next console. I think
So no revision then.
No
No
revision.
revision.
No, I just
No.
I think if they weren't in there and they said they're doing this, they'll have the same question. Why do we need to sell more? You know, if they're clued on, the console is outdated. Yes, it's fantastic and it's one of the best things ever made, but it's lacking.
It's lacking from some perspectives, but in terms of what it's doing, it's not lacking behind in sales, which is what Nintendo care about.
I think the playability of it and lockdown made it massive, and they advertised it very well during that period. But considering the best game on it was a Wii U game.
Yeah, obviously, subjectively the best game, we should say, which is subjectively the best game on it is
Mario Kart. You've got Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, they're all ports.
Well, those two are, but they've got such a vast library as well now. They've got a vast library.
Horizon sold very well for them. Sorry,
Horizon.
Honestly, no,
Pokemon.
No.
Yeah, New Horizons, Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, that's what.
Yeah, Smash Brothers sold really well. I mean, they've got so many games, and we've talked about this, that have hit over 1 million, and then they've got so many games that have broken the 10 million. They've got so many games that have broken the 20 million, and they've got games that have broken the 30 million as well, or approaching 30 million. Look, they've done incredibly well. I've heard a lot of people discussing it. One thing I think is possible that I don't see a lot of people discussing. If there is something coming, I don't believe this year, but I believe potentially early 2025 or late 2024, a successor will come out. But price reduction as well. A price reduction to prepare for a new Switch. That could drive sales as well, especially in the holiday period. If you reduce the price a little bit,
well, they already did, didn't they?
I don't see them doing it because it would still sell. But
it's only like 15 quid.
But there's nothing to say. But PlayStation 2 still sold when PlayStation 3 come out. PlayStation 3 sold when PlayStation 4 come out. PlayStation 4 is still selling at the moment, even though we've got PlayStation 5. If they released a new console, say next March, to in line with when they released the Switch, they could theoretically announce it late this year and say we've got a new console coming next year. In preparation to that, we are reducing the price of the Switch models, and then they carry on selling the Switch even when the new thing comes out for another couple of years. Now that all those things combined could be why they're so confident with selling 21 million, because they might think we've got this coming out, coming out. We're going to reduce the price. We've got another couple of years, and in that case, why not?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out how the Lite has been performing, because they don't really seem to push the Lite so much anymore.
And it hasn't really performed spectacularly, but it's a good branch.
They sold Lockdown. It was the only thing you could get, wasn't it? You know,
they sell more. They sell more, obviously, of the base model than they do of the Lite model.
Yeah.
But yeah. So in that sense, they've again a big rumor. It's not confirmed. They could, and these numbers can also, we should say, they have the investment meetings quarterly or whatever it is, and they can reduce. They can say 21 million, for example, the next investor meeting, and then in another meeting they can reduce it to 20, and then another meeting they could reduce.
I'm going to go out like now. I reckon we will have a new Nintendo console March 2012.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll have in 2024, but I feel like it might be holiday 2024.
So I think it's going to be March. They'll stick with the Switch date.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should see some noise soon. In a couple of months we'll see what they look. I do feel like going into our sort of last topic of the day, of the evening. Unless there's anything that you want to discuss or bring up. I feel like we're going to be seeing a state of play soon. I feel like we're going to be seeing.
Gonna bring some. I thought we might have a direct Pokemon one because we haven't heard any rumors of the DLC yet, and apparently it is there or thereabouts. There are
There's certainly
rumors of people who have seen it.
Yeah, but you don't think it's not going to? I think that's like, I would say that's a holiday release.
No, yeah, so, but they announced
October, November. Oh, you know, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, this when Sword and Shield came out in November, and then by sort of end of January, February, they had
they announced the DLC.
Yeah, and then they released one was summer, and then the second one was in the winter.
Yeah, I can see them doing that again. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that's right. I agree. I think that we should be expecting something either this week or next week. I think.
Oh, that soon.
If it tie inside with the last lot of games, it would roughly be around then.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see Sony State of Play in the next 2-3 weeks. We've got Xbox's Developer Direct this Wednesday, and I think we'll have a Nintendo Direct. I reckon we'll have I think you're right. I didn't even consider it, but I think we'll have a Pokemon thing first. And then I feel like 1 or 2 weeks after that Pokemon event, we'll have a Nintendo Direct to set us up for the year, which I hope will be heavily Zelda.
Yeah, but also I think there's going to be another one. I think there will be another Mario movie Direct as well.
Yes, and I feel like that's a safe bet.
There'll be one
maybe not. I mean, maybe not all of those within the next couple of weeks. I think these things will be spread out a little bit. I feel like the Sony one's going to be coming. I feel like this is. I feel like it's going to go Developer Direct. Obviously, we've got a date for that. Sony State of Play, Pokemon. Nintendo Direct, movie. And then a Mario movie.
I think the Mario movie will be. I think because you've got May for Zelda, so I think you could do Zelda in March.
But I don't feel like that's going to be a Zelda Direct. I feel like there's just going to be a just general Direct.
Well, yeah,
I feel like we'll get a Zelda Direct, but later on, like closer to the release in maybe March, like you say.
Yeah, I think March is a sensible time for that. And with the Mario movie coming out beginning of April, I think sort of end of Feb might be beginning of March. Might be a good point just to because. It's not really a direct. They just show the trailer, don't they? Another trailer and a bit, and I think we'll have one more of them. But yeah, I agree. I think that's probably the likely.
I think that's our sort of last topic, and I suppose really, well, we'll concentrate on Xbox, which is coming imminently, and. I may even just do a video. If you're around, we can maybe just do a quick rundown, like a 5-10 minute video, to give our impressions. And we can get Cal in on that as well. But we could just post later on in the week, just give quick rundown, quick summary. Let's just go over what they've said. And they're marketing it as a Bethesda. Xbox and Bethesda presents Developer Direct, and then they said focus on games, and they said latest info for Xbox games launching in the next few months, including Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall. They highlighted those, and then it says to see all the latest on said games. So. First of all, are you excited in any of those games? Are you excited for any of those games? Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, or Redfall?
Not really. Maybe Redfall a little bit, but nothing really out of them sort of goes. Oh yeah, I need to tune into.
Yeah.
No, if I'm being honest.
So again, and I suppose that's where I'm sort of honing in. Let's say if I watch it, I am going to watch it. When I watch it, if we get please don't be long, Microsoft. Microsoft are known to just make these things long, and I don't really like. Oh, I know being a developer is hard, and I know like I really don't want to hear about how innovative you think your latest game's going to be. We can see that. Please, just don't need to listen to that. Just say, look, it's going really well. Here's a clip of game. Make it gameplay. I don't want to see no stupid CGI trailers, please. So my hope for this is that it's not just these 4 games, because if it's just these 4 games, I am going to be not annoyed, because I don't get annoyed very easily, but I'm going to be disappointed. Yeah, the hair that I've got left is going to be coming out. Please don't be these 4 games. Just these 4 games. Obviously, we know these 4 games. Please don't be just give us something. Please give us something exciting.
I look forward to your Twitter updates. Board made a sandwich.
I'm not. It depends when it is. It depends when it is. In is it 5 p.m.? So 12. I might still be at work.
It's 12, isn't it? It's 12 Pacific. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I might still be at work.
I mean, I'm going to sound stupid, but I'm sure that's 5 hours.
You could be right. You're better at that sort of stuff than me. If it's 5 p.m., I might finish at 4 on Wednesday. I'm not sure. But if I can get home for it, I'm going to be watching it live. So you might get
it's
live.
8 p.m. Sorry, it's
okay. So I will be home.
It's West Coast, isn't it?
Yeah. So I will be home, and I'll be watching it. So I'll be live updates.
I mean,
why?
Oh no, I'm not in. I'm not here. I'm out on Wednesday.
Well, we'll get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'll watch it and then get back to
it. Yeah. And I think So as I was saying, my hopes are it's not just these 4 games. It's not very long. We get some real good surprises. We get gameplay, not CGI. We get release dates, and we have some sort of idea. I mean, the rumours Starfield's not going to be there because they're going to do a big blowout and do a whole thing for that. Fantastic, do that. But come on, at least just mention it, maybe. Just say Starfield isn't here because in a couple of weeks we're going to give you a big Starfield event. Look forward to that. Okay, fair enough. For those Starfield maniacs out there, that will satiate them for a couple of weeks.
Yep.
If it's just these 4 games, if it's really overly long with a load of crap that you need to sit through just to get a CGI trailer, it's going to be disappointing. Xbox really do need to do some real big things this year and next year, but I feel like this year they need to kick it up, make me want to subscribe to Xbox for the whole year, not just for 1 month to play a game. So that's me. What are your hopes for it, and what do you expect?
If I'm being completely honest, I'm not very hopeful of it at all. They're all a bit, like you say, long, very long-winded. Talk about a load of rubbish, and you'll get some trailers that aren't actually captured from the game. I want to see, when I see the trailers, just like yourself, I want to see on the bottom, video captured in game. That's all I want to see, and then brilliant. But we don't get a lot of that anymore.
No.
Yeah, then 4 games. I'd like to see something else. I'd like them to show a few more games. I mean, I love indie games. I'd love to see a couple of indie games. Say, look, these have come to Game Pass.
Yes. Game Pass, that's another thing. Good point, Richard. Game Pass day 1 drops. I want to see something on Wednesday. Go, this is coming out today. Go play it. Actually, no, I don't. I'm playing Fire Emblem, and I've come to. No, maybe for some people, drop some games for them. Yeah, no problem. But no games that I'm really excited to see drop on Game Pass on Wednesday, please. I have got so many hours to play to Fire Emblem. But okay, let's wrap all this up with if all of those events come in the next, say, 6 weeks. 6 weeks to 8 weeks that we just said, the PlayStation State of Play, the Nintendo Direct, obviously this Developer Direct, a Starfield event, a Pokemon event. What would you most be excited to see and want to see?
Pokemon DLC.
So that would be the main thing that you would look forward to. Say if X Honcho, I don't even know where I was going with that. Say a real basically they were all announced today. They all come out and announce their events today. You'd say, Pokemon DLC. That's the one I am looking forward to most.
Yep, followed by Zelda.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, it would be a Nintendo Direct. If it's a general one, not really interested. If they announce a partner Direct, don't care, to be honest. Give me a general Direct, that would give me the excitement. Or a Zelda specific Direct. If there's a Zelda specific Direct, that would be the one that excites me the most. And if there is a Zelda specific Direct, you bet your damn bottom dollar that a system has been announced for that Direct. But that would be the one I really, really, really look forward to seeing. So yeah, so we got Pokemon and things. So I mean, I would be excited to see some stuff in a Sony Direct, but it wouldn't. I reckon would lean more heavily to third parties and stuff like Resident Evil 4 and Final Fantasy 16, which we've already seen, and I'm sold on. I don't need to see any more of it. And I know I'm sold on Zelda as
Why
well.
Resident Evil 4? Because they still got to remake the third one, or have they already done the third one?
I know the fourth one's coming out. They're remaking the fourth one.
Yeah, they remade 1, 2, and 3 so far. Then?
No, they remade
1 and
2 and 3. They made 2 and 3. They didn't remake 1.
Yeah, they did a remastered one.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. They haven't remade 1.
Sure, they did.
No.
No,
they've redone it a couple times, but not recently, not on modern consoles. Not the way they did 2 anyway, and not the way they're doing 4.
Yeah, they'll definitely have a Sony will have Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 probably put in there at some point.
Again, they've got quite a few things coming out this year, and they're predominantly third party. Yeah, they're predominantly third party. That's one of my games, I believe, the second part on my draft.
That's a developer you don't see much of anymore, isn't it? Capcom. Just thinking about it off the top of my head.
I mean, they just brought out Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, I know Monster Hunter. Yeah, but they've been out for a year or two.
Well, yeah, it's been on the Switch. It was, and it's been on our PC and consoles. Oh, the other thing was the Suicide Squad thing. Do we want to touch on that? And this was it also leans into heavily the out of touch developers conversation. Now, Suicide Squad's done by Rocksteady, who who created the Batman games, which are like loved. But now the gameplay leaks. I don't know if you've seen them, the screenshots as well.
Bits, yeah.
It looks like Avengers, which was very poorly received, which is now going to be finished after this year. They've stopped supporting it, which looks generic, which looks rubbish. Looks like I've got more faith in Rocksteady to deliver something a bit better than that. But let's not forget, it's not like Avengers was.
Who developed the Gotham Knights one then? Because that looks like the Batman games. The battle style's pretty similar.
Yeah, it wasn't similar, but it wasn't Rocksteady.
Again, another game that sort of didn't get good reviews.
Yeah, didn't get good reviews. It didn't. I mean, it sold reasonably well, but it didn't.
Yeah. Well, it was on sale 2 weeks later.
It's games as a service. I just don't know. It's killed it for me. Do not like. I mean, this is this. I think you've got that in your draft as well. I believe you picked Suicide
possibly.
Squad, and I think that was such an oversight by me not to pick that as my counter pick. Why didn't I go Suicide Squad? I think I had too much. Yeah, I'm gutted I didn't pick Suicide Squad.
You didn't pick Forspoken either.
Actually, to be fair, we do have 2 other counter picks.
Oh, okay. Well,
but we got
Callum to.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Otherwise, I would quickly jump in there and counter pick Forspoken. I would do that immediately, but that's not fair. We need to do everything on the same.
We'll give Callum a call. We'll do it at some point.
Get it? So yeah, Suicide Squad. I feel like the long development cycles of these things, they're trying to chase maybe fads that were popular years ago. Things change. It releases. It's not so popular anymore. I mean, nobody. Does anybody like? It was overwhelmingly negative reception to this news. Like overwhelmingly negative. There was very few people, if any, did I see, was like, "Oh yeah, this makes me really want to buy it."
I know it's I mean, on multiplayer games. I mean, I wouldn't say it is a multiplayer game as such like that. I think with games like that, you should just do campaign modes, but allow people to join you, play the campaign together, rather than doing all this like grinding rubbish to get stuff.
It's just so generic.
Yeah, you're just doing the same thing over and over again.
So,
that's the way forward. I would think just.
I don't think even that's the way forward.
Well, no, I mean just having the story mode and letting your co-op together, or you can join each other's games, because you don't mind that, because it's the replayability, because you can play it on your own. That's great, and then you've got the ability to play it with like one friend or a squad, or or you can jump in and help someone else who's stuck. And then for DLC, why don't just roll out some extra missions? Because stuff like, rather than this, you need to join on, and you've got to do the same.
Oh yeah, you've got to you've got to play this. You've got to play every day. This is what I feel like. They obviously chasing the model where they want you, the battle pass. They want you basically engaging with this game as your game. This is what I play. This is only what I play. I am going to keep pouring money into this game, and me, I can tell you what. Don't tell me cosmetic only anymore. I don't care. Cosmetic only. Oh, okay. We're gonna make our characters. I can't speak in this podcast. Characters look like dog crap, just so you pay some money to make them look half decent. No.
It's it's £15 extra if you want him to have a glow in the dark hat.
Yeah. Screw you, developers, when you do this. I don't care how much time you put into a game if you're going to be... Like, I don't care if it's just cosmetic only. Guess what, right? Mario Odyssey come out. You could put him in however many hats. You could put him in however many shirts or however many bloody shorts. Do you know what you had to do? Go around and collect some coins and have some fun. Yeah, I don't have to pay and keep paying £10 a month. Or sign in to Mario Odyssey every day to get like X amount of this or that. No,
absolutely
no. Screw.
But
just because
easy money, isn't it? Easy money to roll out.
Yeah, and again, and this is like almost the theme for this
generation.
This I would just say, this generation. You're right for this generation, but this conversation we've been having is it because games are getting so expensive to create that they feel like they need continual revenue to make it viable anymore? Is that what's happening, or is it they're just greed? And
I think a little bit of both. I think if you think about it, it takes so long to make a game, but once you finished it, people will play a game and they'll finish it, and that's it. So if there's no extra bits, they're then like, God, everyone's finished our game, and we've got 2 years left on our next one before it's out. So they're like,
but if you sell 5 to 10 million, you've sold your game. You don't need
I just think, like you say, a lot of.
And I say, if you set your expectation right and you invest the right amount of money in a game, it's still going to be profitable for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, but again, it's like it's kind of so take a really good game, for example, God of War. You play it, you do extra bits, you finish the game. You've got the extra if you want to really replay it again, and but once you finish the story and everything else, you kind of put it away, yeah, and then. Yeah. Some people might buy it a bit later on because of the sale and whatnot, but I was like, yeah, it's a great game. I loved it. I haven't played it for ages. The first one now I'm on about, and then obviously, so that was like 2018. So and then up until it was only last year when it came out on PC when I went, oh yeah, it was a really good game again. And that Resurgence came out, and people were really looking forward to it. And then obviously it came out. The second one came out, and I mean, I was waiting for it because it was so good, but. There's that period where they, you're like, well, I mean, they sold enough, but if it didn't sell well, you kind of like, well, what do we do for 4 years? I
Yeah, I
know,
suppose.
I know,
Yeah.
and I think they did it very cleverly by not putting it out on PC straight away. So when it did come out, they sold a lot more copies again, and it also brought
Yeah.
out the hype because people were like, "Oh yeah, it's back out again! Oh, I forgot that."
Mm.
Yeah, and but other games don't have that, that grasp. So they do fade away very, very quickly, and I think that is a worry because game developers, they kind of you're still relying on your game selling, I suppose, to fund the next one. So if they stop selling, where you go get their money from somewhere else. So it's all that
The pick in our pockets next.
Yeah,
but I guess that's the thing. So that's our episode for today. I just want to finish up by saying thank you if you've watched to the end. This isn't a numbered episode because it's just us two.
It's a 2/3.
It's a 2/3. It's a 2/3. Let us know if you would like to see more content from us in terms of different style of content, smaller chunks of videos, maybe smaller news pieces, maybe quick discussions on maybe like an event like the Xbox coming out. Be absolutely sure to check in on Ridges here when he has his Pokemon Sundays. Be absolutely sure to check in on Callum, who will always post his schedule on Twitter, so you can follow him at Up the Slough at YCallum. He's got his YouTube that's separate to the 16-bit rivals. He's got his Twitter, he's got his Twitch, and you can find him getting involved in all of that.
I believe his Twitter is ycallum_.
Yep, ycallum_. If you'll be able to find him, put in ycallum, I'm sure. Ridges, what's yours?
Ridges on Twitch and Ridges_ on Twitter for any.
Yep, and you can find me on Twitter at Flawed Gamer and on Twitch 16-bit Rivals at 16-bit Rivals, and obviously here on YouTube. And many other platforms as it happens.
If you don't want to see our ugly mugs and want to listen to our voice instead, catch us on our audio podcast, which will be loaded up. Usually, so
we do want a bit more engagement. We're gonna have guests on. We've got a couple of guests lined up. We've got some returning guests. We've still got a big special to do and record. But I personally want to see a bit more content coming forward. So it's just how that looks. And please drop in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see. But
there's
please,
definitely going to be, and hopefully another meetup. So
yes, So there will hopefully be another meetup. Well, there will be because I can't imagine never meeting up with you guys again.
No, I mean in the near future. We haven't decided what yet, but we will be meeting to do one of two things.
So potentially some things to look forward to there. But thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
We will indeed.
16-bit Rivals.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.